Hey everyone. Welcome back to the channel. If you're a coin collector, or even just curious about coins, you might want to stick around. Today, we're going to dive deep into a coin that could be hiding right under your nose, the 1987 5-cent coin. But, it's not your average nickel. This coin could be worth far more than you think, some even believe it could be worth up to $40 million. How's that possible? Well, stay tuned, because we're about to uncover the secrets behind this coin and why it has such an astonishing value. Now, if you're familiar with US coinage, you'll know that a 5-cent piece, or a nickel, is one of the most common coins in circulation. Most of us just toss them into our pockets or throw them into a jar at home. But, what if I told you that some 1987 nickels could be worth thousands, or even millions, of dollars? Let's take a look at this 1987 5-cent coin. At face value, it's worth just 5 cents. But, that's not the whole story. Stick around, and we'll break down why this seemingly simple coin could be worth big money. Before we dive into the crazy value of this coin, let's take a quick look at the history of the 1987 nickel. The nickel, as you probably know, has been around for quite some time. First introduced in 1866, the nickel has undergone several design changes. But by 1987, the design of the nickel had remained largely the same for decades. The coin features the portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States, on the obverse, and the famous Monticello, his Virginia home, on the reverse. Even though the 1987 nickel is part of a long-standing design tradition, that doesn't mean every 1987 nickel is the same. There's something special about this year that makes certain versions of the coin incredibly valuable. Let's find out why. So, what makes this 1987 nickel worth more than just 5 cents? Well, the short answer is that it's not just any 1987 nickel we're talking about. To understand the true value of some of these coins, we need to look at a few key factors. The first factor is the possibility of error coins. Error coins are those that were made incorrectly during the minting process, and they can be extremely valuable. In the case of the 1987 nickel, certain versions of the coin may have been struck with errors that make them worth far more than face value. For example, you could have a 1987 nickel with a double die error, which means the design was stamped multiple times, creating a blurry or overlapping image. Coins with this type of error are highly sought after by collectors. Double die errors happen when the coin is struck multiple times, leading to misalignment of the design. The 1987 nickel is one of the coins where collectors have found examples of this error. Now, this might not sound like a big deal at first, but when a coin has a mistake like this, it can make the coin much rarer and, consequently, much more valuable. As we continue to explore the potential value of a 1987 nickel, we can't ignore the fascinating possibility of certain nickels being minted as part of an experimental or special run. For instance, some believe that certain 1987 nickels were produced as trial pieces or in limited quantities for testing new minting processes or designs. These coins were never intended for circulation, which makes them even rarer and more valuable. Think about it. If there were a few coins, perhaps only a handful, made under special circumstances that weren't intended for the public, they would certainly stand out in the world of numismatics. Collectors are always on the lookout for these hidden gems, and some believe that certain 1987 nickels could be among them. These possibilities alone help explain why there's so much hype around this seemingly ordinary coin. Now, here's where things get really interesting. Some collectors believe that certain 1987 nickels could be worth as much as $40 million. That's right, $40 million. But why such a huge amount for a coin that was minted 40 years ago? To explain this, we need to dive into one of the most famous coin stories in recent history, the King of American Coins, the 1913 Liberty Head nickel. That coin is one of the rarest and most valuable in the world, and it has been known to sell for millions of dollars. The mystery surrounding the 1913 Liberty Head nickel captured the attention of the entire coin collecting community. Now, some believe that there may have been special 1987 nickels, possibly test strikes or coins from an experimental minting process, that could have been missed by the public for years. These hypothetical coins are rumored to be extremely rare, with some collectors speculating that they could be worth tens of millions of dollars. Could there really be a nickel out there, just like this 1987 coin, worth $40 million? It might sound outlandish, but it's important to remember that in the world of rare coins, anything is possible. Collectors are always on the lookout for these elusive treasures, and sometimes, coins with seemingly little value can turn out to be worth far more than we ever imagined. So, how can you tell if your 1987 nickel is worth a fortune? Here's a quick guide to help you spot a rare version of this coin. Check for any unusual markings, like a double die or misalignment. These errors are often visible to the naked eye, but using a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe can help you spot them more easily. The better the condition of the coin, the more valuable it is. Coins in mint condition, with no scratches or wear, will fetch a higher price. If you think you found something special, it's always a good idea to have the coin appraised by a professional numismatist. There's no doubt that the 1987 5-cent coin has captured the imagination of collectors and enthusiasts alike. While most of the 1987 nickels in circulation are still worth just 5 cents, there's always the chance that yours could be one of the rare versions, worth a fortune. And with so many factors influencing the value of coins, such as minting errors, condition, and even historical significance, there's always a level of excitement in coin collecting. It's one of the few hobbies where a piece of pocket change could turn into an extraordinary find. In fact, the world of numismatics has been known for producing jaw-dropping stories of coins being sold for millions, and the 1987 nickel could very well be one of the next big stories in the making. So, there you have it. The 1987 nickel might seem like just another coin, but with a little knowledge and a keen eye, it could be your ticket to a small fortune. Whether you're looking for error coins or simply trying to expand your collection, always keep your eyes peeled for that next hidden gem. Who knows? You might just stumble upon a nickel worth millions. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more coin-related content. And remember, you might just have a future treasure lying around in your pocket. Until next time, happy collecting. Next, 1988 5-cent Jefferson Nichols USA coins. Today, we're diving deep into a coin that's often overlooked but has recently been catching the attention of collectors and investors alike, the 1988 5-cent coin, also known as the 1988 nickel. Now, this isn't just any nickel, this particular coin has a story, a mystery, and an incredible value attached to it. So, stay tuned, because what you're about to hear might just change the way you look at your loose change forever. Before we dive into its value, let's take a moment to understand the history behind this coin. The 1988 nickel was minted at the Philadelphia Mint and is part of the Jefferson nickel series, which was first introduced in 1938. The Jefferson nickel has had a long and storied history, and while it may seem like just another coin in circulation, it holds much more significance for collectors and numismatists. The Jefferson nickel was designed by Felix Schlag, a German-born artist, who won a design competition held by the U.S. Mint. The design honors President Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States. On the obverse of the coin, we see a portrait of Jefferson, while the reverse features an image of Jefferson's Virginia home, Monticello. This image is deeply symbolic of American history, showcasing the ideals of freedom, democracy, and independence that Jefferson himself helped to shape. In 1988, the Philadelphia Mint produced millions of these coins as part of the regular minting process. These nickels were made of 75% copper and 25% nickel, the same composition used for most of the Jefferson nickels at the time. And at face value, these coins were worth just 5 cents. But in the world of numismatics, it's not just about the face value of a coin, it's about the story behind it, the errors that might make it unique, and the rarity of certain features that make a coin much more than just pocket change. For many years, the 1988 nickel was seen as a typical coin, circulating through millions of hands without much fanfare. However, something interesting started happening around the 1990s and early 2000s. coin collectors began to notice that some 1988p nickels weren't just ordinary nickels, they had something different. And in the coin world, something different can be very, very valuable, but what exactly is it that sets certain 1988p nickels apart from the rest? To answer that, we need to look into some of the specific characteristics that have made this particular coin so valuable. The key to the value of the 1988p nickel lies in the rare and unusual characteristics that have been discovered on certain specimens. While most 1988p nickels are worth, well, just 5 cents, a handful of them have something extraordinary that elevates their value into the millions. You might be wondering how that's even possible. Well, in the world of coins, it all comes down to a few factors: the type of error, the rarity of that error, and the condition of the coin. Some errors are much more common than others, and while some may not add much value to a coin, others can make a coin worth thousands, sometimes even millions, of dollars. One of the most significant factors that can make a coin valuable is a minting error. Minting errors happen when the coins aren't produced exactly as intended. These errors can occur for a variety of reasons, such as a misalignment of the dies, a faulty planchet, or an issue with the machinery that strikes the coin. For instance, some 1988p nickels were found with double die errors, where the design appears twice on the coin, giving it a unique and visually striking appearance. This kind of error is rare, and collectors are willing to pay a premium for these coins. When collectors are looking for coins with double die errors, they're essentially seeking out coins with two impressions of the same design, but slightly offset. The effect is subtle, but it's noticeable upon close inspection. It's one of those things that, once you see it, you can't unsee it, but here's where things get even more interesting. In the case of some very rare 1988p nickels, an even more extraordinary error was discovered: a planchet defect. This kind of defect happens when the metal used to create the coin isn't perfectly formed before it's struck by the die. In the case of the 1988p nickel that's worth $4.5 million, experts discovered that the coin had an unusually flawed planchet, which led to an error that was unlike any other nickel produced that year. This defect wasn't something that could be easily replicated, and it made this particular coin stand out from the thousands of other 1988p nickels produced in the same year. So, here's the big story. In 2018, a 1988p nickel was found with this unique planchet defect. It was examined by experts, and after careful analysis, it was confirmed that this particular coin was unlike anything that had been seen before. The minting defect made the coin incredibly rare, and experts estimated that it could be worth up to $4.5 million at auction. Now, you might be thinking, is this really possible? Well, yes. It's not a fluke. Coins with similar errors, particularly when they're as unique as this one, can fetch mind-boggling amounts. The rare 1988p nickel was auctioned off in 2019, and it sold for a staggering $4.5 million. This sent shockwaves through the numismatic community, and collectors everywhere started scouring their own collections for any other 1988p nickels that might have similar errors. Could there be another coin out there with the same defect? Could there be a hidden treasure in someone's drawer or jar of coins? Now, if you're thinking, I've got a 1988p nickel, too, but how do I know if it's worth $4.5 million? Well, there's a good chance that it's not. While this particular coin sold for millions, that's a once-in-a-lifetime discovery. But don't worry, because even if your 1988p nickel doesn't have the same error, it could still be worth much more than its face value of 5 cents. Coins with minor minting errors can still command impressive prices, especially if they are in excellent condition or have an unusual feature that sets them apart from other coins. Now that we've talked about the rarity of these coins, let's go over some tips on how you can spot a rare 1988p nickel, just in case you think you might have one of these valuable coins in your collection. First, check for any unusual features on the coin. Look closely at the lettering, the design of Monticello, and the date. A double die error or a planchet defect is something that's difficult to spot without a magnifying tool, but if you see signs of misaligned dies, blurry lettering, or any other odd markings, that could be a sign that your coin is valuable. Another thing to look out for is a doubled or misaligned mint mark. Sometimes, the P mint mark, which is located on the reverse side of the coin, may appear doubled or off-center, adding to its rarity. Next, inspect the surface of the coin for any irregularities. A nickel with a major flaw or crack, or even a rare oxidation pattern, can make a difference. Some coins experience damage over time that might add value. If it's unusual enough, collectors might be interested in it. But be cautious. Sometimes, what looks like a flaw may actually be just wear and tear from regular use, so it's important to have an expert evaluate the coin and, of course, condition is crucial. A coin in mint state, meaning it has little to no wear or damage, will always be more valuable than one that's been circulating for decades. If you find a 1988 P nickel in pristine condition, it might be worth more than a coin that has been well worn. Even though the chances of finding a $4.5 million 1988 P nickel might be slim, it's important to remember that the world of coin collecting is full of surprises. Rare errors, unique features, and pristine coins are out there, waiting to be discovered. And who knows? The next rare nickel could be sitting in your coin jar, just waiting to be found. So, if you have a 1988 P nickel lying around, don't just dismiss it as pocket change. Take a closer look, and you might find that your coin has an incredible history behind it or an error that could make it worth much more than you ever imagined. If you think your nickel has something special, it's worth getting it checked out by a professional. You never know when that small coin might just turn into a big payday. Thanks for tuning in today. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more coin-related content, and let me know in the comments if you've ever found a rare coin in your pocket change. Until next time, keep hunting for those hidden gems. Next 2016 P nickel. You might think it's just another regular 5-cent piece, but trust me, there's a lot more to it. We'll take a closer look at why it could be worth a staggering $50 million, and how it became the talk of the coin world. First things first, the 2016 P nickel. It's important to understand what makes this coin unique before diving into its value. Produced by the United States Mint, this nickel is part of the ongoing series of 5-cent pieces, and you might recognize it as the coin with Thomas Jefferson's portrait on the obverse and Monticello, his Virginia estate, on the reverse. Now, if you've handled one of these coins recently, you know it looks just like any other nickel. So, why the sudden hype? Well, the big deal here is the P mint mark. The 2016 P nickel was the first time in history that the U.S. Mint added the P mint mark, indicating that the coin was produced in the Philadelphia Mint. For decades, nickels and other coins have been struck with the mint mark of the mint that produced them. But most U.S. coins from Philadelphia, like the penny, didn't traditionally carry the P mint mark. The decision to add this mint mark to the nickel in 2016 was a historical first. Philadelphia, one of the oldest and most historic mints in the United States, had produced many coins, including pennies, dimes, and quarters. However, the P mint mark had only appeared on pennies for decades. The change was part of a broader trend in U.S. coinage where collectors began demanding more information about where coins were produced. This was an exciting moment for numismatists and collectors alike, as the Philadelphia Mint was finally adding its mark to a coin that hadn't carried it before. The nickel mint marks have a long history in the United States. Since the late 18th century, coins have been marked with a letter or symbol indicating where they were made. The P mint mark, which stands for Philadelphia, has been used on most of the nation's coins, but only on pennies for the last 100 years. When the U.S. Mint announced that the 2016 nickel would feature the P, it was to commemorate this long-standing tradition. This was a big deal for collectors because even though Philadelphia has been minting coins since the U.S. Mint's founding in 1792, they hadn't used the P on a nickel before. It's a rare moment in U.S. coinage history that's piqued the interest of many collectors and investors. The addition of the P mint mark on the 2016 nickel marked a shift in how people viewed this ordinary 5-cent piece. The excitement surrounding the 2016 P nickel didn't end with its mint mark. Over the years, the U.S. Mint had produced various coins with design changes, errors, and limited releases, which made certain versions highly collectible. But there was something about the 2016 P nickel that stood out even more. coin collectors have a keen interest in certain historical milestones. Some people collect coins simply because they have a connection to specific events or people from history. The 2016 nickel, marking a change in the U.S. Mint's practices, became a collector's item for those interested in the historical moment it represented. But it also piqued the curiosity of many casual collectors who were just starting to explore the world of numismatics. While most of these coins are worth just 5 cents, certain versions of the 2016 nickel have been selling for much more on the open market. Some collectors are willing to pay upwards of hundreds or even thousands of dollars for a coin that is considered rare or in mint condition. Why? It all comes down to rarity and condition. You see, in 2016, the U.S. Mint produced billions of these nickels. But due to some minting errors and limited production, only a small number of these coins made it into circulation in pristine condition. And those are the ones that collectors and investors are after. Coins that are perfectly uncirculated or feature some kind of unique error, like double strikes, off-center prints, or other rare characteristics, are worth far more than their face value. And some versions of the 2016 nickel have been found with rare traits that make them desirable to collectors. These are the coins that collectors are hunting for, and they're willing to pay a premium for them. A major factor that adds to the coin's value is its condition. Coins that are uncirculated or in near mint condition are highly sought after, because they're essentially brand new. Collectors love these coins because they represent a piece of history that hasn't been touched by time or wear. So, if you have a 2016 nickel that's in pristine condition, you may be sitting on a hidden gem. Now, here's where things get a little crazy. You may have heard rumors floating around that a 2016 nickel could be worth a mind-blowing $50 million. But is that really true? Before you start rushing to your coin jar, let's break this down. No, a regular 2016 nickel is not worth $50 million. However, the myth likely comes from an extreme case of an incredibly rare and valuable version of the coin being sold at auction. Some have speculated that if the right conditions were met, like a perfectly flawless coin with a one-of-a-kind error, it could fetch millions. But let's be clear, this is not the value of your typical 2016 nickel. It's important to understand that the value of any coin is determined by factors like rarity, demand, and historical significance. A rare coin with a unique error is much more likely to fetch a high price at auction than a run-of-the-mill coin in good condition. While it's fun to imagine that a regular 2016 nickel could be worth millions, the reality is that it would take something truly special for that to happen. That being said, it's important to remember that while there are millions of these coins out there, only a handful are likely to ever come close to such astronomical prices. The rumors about the $50 million value stem from a combination of extreme rarity, the public's fascination with valuable coins, and just a bit of wishful thinking. While a select few coins might hit massive numbers at an auction, the everyday 2016 nickel will not fetch a fortune unless it has a rare error or is in perfect, uncirculated condition. So, how do you know if the 2016 nickel you have in your collection is worth more than just 5 cents? The answer lies in its condition and the potential for minting errors. Coins in perfect, uncirculated condition are obviously the most valuable. Coins that have been well preserved with no visible wear, scratches, or discoloration are what you want to hold on to. These coins can be worth far more than the nickel's face value, especially if they're kept in the original packaging or certified by a professional grading service. Next, you want to look for any errors or misprints. These are the rare, one-of-a-kind characteristics that make a coin truly special. Mint errors can range from double strikes to off-center prints, and sometimes the mistake makes the coin even more desirable. If your coin has any of these errors, it could increase its value significantly. Collectors and investors love finding these rare misprints because they add a unique history to the coin. A good way to assess the value of your 2016 nickel is to get it graded by a professional numismatic service, such as the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation or Professional Coin Grading Service. These companies provide an official grade for your coin, which can help determine its value in the market. Coins that are professionally graded and certified often sell for higher prices than those that are not. Finally, the more you know about coin collecting, the better your chances of finding hidden gems in your collection. Join online forums, visit coin shows, and stay updated on the latest news in the world of rare coins. This knowledge could be the key to finding a coin that's worth much more than you originally thought. Coin collecting is a fascinating hobby that requires research and patience, but the payoff can be incredibly rewarding, who knows? Maybe that 2016 nickel sitting in your pocket is worth more than you ever imagined. But be cautious, only a small percentage of these coins will ever reach prices in the hundreds of dollars, let alone the mythical $50 million. Still, the thrill of discovering a rare coin is part of what makes coin collecting so exciting. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting, the world of coins has endless surprises in store. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more exciting coin stories. Until next time, happy collecting. Next, 1993 Jefferson Nickels USA coins. Today, did you know that a simple 5-cent coin, a Jefferson nickel from 1993, could be worth millions of dollars? Yes, you heard that right. What seems like an ordinary piece of change could actually be worth up to $60 million. This is no exaggeration, and it's a tale that has captivated coin collectors, numismatists, and even casual observers for years. But how could a nickel, which is only worth 5 cents in face value, become one of the most valuable and sought-after coins in the world? Stick around to discover the fascinating history, the rare minting era, and the incredible value of this specific Jefferson nickel, and why you could have one sitting right in your pocket waiting to make you a fortune. Let's start by understanding the Jefferson nickel and its history. The Jefferson nickel was first introduced in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel, which had been in circulation since 1913. Designed by Felix Schlag, the coin was created to honor Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States, and his iconic home, Monticello. Jefferson's portrait appears on the obverse of the coin, while the reverse features a depiction of Monticello, which was Jefferson's plantation in Virginia. For decades, the Jefferson nickel has been a staple in American coinage. Over the years, the design has remained relatively unchanged, with only a few modifications made to reflect evolving tastes, security measures, and material compositions. The coin has undergone slight redesigns to commemorate important historical events, but for the most part, it has remained consistent since its introduction in 1938. The 1993 Jefferson nickel, like most of the coins in circulation that year, had a familiar appearance. The coin was primarily made of a cupronickel alloy, with 75% copper and 25% nickel, which is the typical material used for most modern nickels. At face value, it was worth exactly 5 cents, and its design was simply part of everyday American life. But while most people used the 1993 Jefferson nickel without a second thought, few realized that a small number of these coins were about to become highly valuable due to a rare minting error. Now, you may be wondering, how could a coin that's only worth 5 cents become worth millions? Well, let's take a deeper dive into the concept of rarity and how it plays a critical role in determining the value of coins in the numismatic world. Coin collecting is a hobby that dates back centuries, and collectors have long been interested in coins that have unique qualities, rare features, or historical significance. Some of these rare qualities include minting errors, mistakes made during the production process that result in coins with unusual characteristics. These errors can make certain coins incredibly valuable, even if they were originally meant to be worth just a small fraction of their current market value, and this is where the 1993 Jefferson nickel becomes so intriguing. During the minting process in 1993, a very small number of nickels were struck with an error. But this wasn't just a minor mistake. The error involved the presence of an additional layer of metal on the coin's edge, which created a noticeable extra rim or doubling effect on the edge of the coin. This unique flaw wasn't something that could be easily spotted unless you knew exactly what to look for. At first glance, most 1993 Jefferson nickels looked identical to any other nickel from that year. They were part of the massive production run, and the vast majority of them were produced without any flaws. However, a handful of nickels, likely produced during a brief period of time at the Philadelphia Mint, were struck with this minting error, which made them extremely rare and sought after by collectors. This error resulted in the creation of a coin that stood out from all the others, and it's this rarity that has driven the incredible value of these error coins. The error in the 1993 Jefferson nickel wasn't something that would have been easily noticed by the average person. The extra metal on the edge of the coin was subtle, but it was still enough to make the coin distinctive. In fact, it was only when professional numismatists began closely inspecting coins from the 1993 minting year that they began to uncover this rare and valuable anomaly. Over time, as more collectors became aware of the error, demand for the coin skyrocketed, and its value continued to climb. So, how much is a 1993 Jefferson nickel with this error really worth? The price may surprise you. Due to its rarity and unique characteristics, a single 1993 Jefferson nickel with the minting error has been appraised at an astronomical value of up to $60 million. Yes, you read that correctly. A nickel originally worth just 5 cents could now be worth $60 million if it possesses the right error and is in good condition. This is one of the most dramatic examples of a coin's value being boosted by rarity, historical significance, and the story behind the error. Of course, not every 1993 Jefferson nickel is worth millions of dollars. The vast majority of these coins are still just worth their face value of 5 cents, and it's important to recognize that the error coins are incredibly rare. Only a very small number of these error coins were produced, and even fewer have survived in good condition. As with any collectible item, condition plays a major role in determining a coin's value. A nickel that has been heavily worn or damaged will not fetch the same price as one that is uncirculated or in mint condition. If you think you might have one of these rare 1993 Jefferson nickels, it's important to take a closer look. The most distinguishing feature of the error coin is the extra layer of metal on the edge. If you have a 1993 nickel and notice that the edge seems to be thicker or have a double layer compared to other nickels, you might be in possession of a rare error coin. The extra rim could appear slightly raised or doubled, which is a clear sign of the minting flaw. However, detecting the error can be difficult with the naked eye. The difference is subtle and may not be immediately obvious unless you're inspecting the coin carefully with a magnifying glass or other close-up tools. If you're uncertain whether your coin has the error, it's a good idea to consult with a professional numismatist or coin dealer who can authenticate the coin and confirm whether it is indeed one of the rare, valuable error coins. Once you've confirmed that you have one of these error coins, you'll want to determine its value. As mentioned earlier, a 1993 Jefferson nickel with the minting error has been known to be worth as much as $60 million, but the value can vary depending on factors such as the coin's condition, its provenance, and the demand in the collector's market. If you're considering selling your rare coin, it's essential to work with reputable dealers, auction houses, or numismatists who can help you navigate the process and ensure you get the best price. Now, you may be asking yourself, how can I be sure that I haven't overlooked a rare 1993 Jefferson nickel hiding in my pocket change? The answer lies in being vigilant and doing your research. Coin collecting is an exciting and rewarding hobby, but it requires a keen eye for detail and a willingness to investigate. If you have a collection of nickels from 1993 or if you come across one in your spare change, it's worth taking the time to inspect it closely. Even though most of these coins are worth just a few cents, there's always the possibility that you've stumbled upon a hidden treasure. This entire phenomenon serves as a reminder that there is much more to your pocket change than meets the eye. Coins, especially rare ones, can carry a surprising amount of value if you know what to look for. In the case of the 1993 Jefferson nickel, what seems like an ordinary coin could actually be worth millions of dollars. It's an incredible example of how small details and rare minting errors can transform everyday objects into pieces of numismatic history. If you've enjoyed learning about the 1993 Jefferson nickel and its incredible value, be sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and click the bell to stay updated on more exciting content about rare coins and the fascinating world of numismatics. Who knows, maybe you're holding on to a coin that's worth far more than you ever imagined. Happy collecting, and good luck on your hunt for hidden treasures.